Hello, welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, so where do I actually start? Thank you for the VR, Natalia. I really appreciate that. This is a VR to Kelly Bear, of course, with 54321. So 5 tarot decks. Okay, well, this was really hard. My collection has sort of been growing over the years. I've been reading tarot for over 20 years. Very, very hard to choose just 5 tarot decks. But let's begin with my, what am I going to do here? I think I might actually begin with the Swagatum Tarot. No particular order, remember, but I am going to begin with the Swagatum Tarot. Now, why do I like this deck? I think it's a really good deck for allowing you to sort of explore another culture, maybe learn something for yourself in some sort of way. Now, I've actually got 2 of these decks already. They don't have the Emperor card, but it doesn't really bother me when I'm doing my readings. I seem to get the right message coming through anyway. But ultimately, for me, this deck really sort of like, the guidebook is not huge, but it does give you a little bit of information about the cards, a little bit about the background. It's got some spreads in it, of course. I just think this deck has is a beautiful artwork, absolutely, and it's just really different. It just offers something different to it. Yes, it's got an extra suit with the smoke, and so that's made it a little bit more time consuming in regards to learning, but you could always take out that suit of smoke. I mean, there's nothing saying you have to have that suit in there. I could actually take that suit out and just use the deck for what it is without that smoke suit. But I think it really gives you, with each card, it gives you so much to learn, to jumpstart, that you could do a lot more learning with in regards to it. I love this. I love the imagery. I love the titles. The little bit more information that you sort of do a little bit more study about the cards. I love that. I mean, there's lots and lots of decks that do that, but this is one of my favorites. I don't know why. I just love it. It's a really good deck. I find I sort of dive a little bit deeper in for my personal journey. Yes, I've used it for for other people, but for me personally, I love diving into this deck for myself. Absolutely adore the Swagatum Tarot. So I'm definitely including that in there. Now, another deck I really, really like is, I don't know why, but I love pip decks anyway, but even though it's not complete pip, but I've got this thing about the Supernatural Tarot. It's the one, basically, it's another deck that I've actually got a backup copy of. Okay, so absolutely, I don't know why, but I love the feel of this deck. I love the messages that I get when I'm reading from it. I don't know why, I just love this. I love using this deck. I watched all the seasons with Supernatural. I did watch the Winchesters TV series. I wish there was more of it. I feel like I just didn't get enough of Supernatural. So absolutely love this deck. Even though I know it's pip, it's not scenic, it's more about characters and things like that. They're not actually doing a lot in the imagery, but yet because of my basic knowledge of tarot, watching Supernatural program, I sort of get really cool sort of quick messages, maybe not too in depth, but definitely definitely get some great messages with this deck. I just love Supernatural. I think that's just my thing. I think that's just, I mean, I do like there's lots of other decks that I like, but for some reason with the Supernatural, I just love this deck. Do you know why? I just feel drawn to pick it up constantly and use it. And I want to use it a lot more. Okay. So that's deck number 2. Okay. So where do I go from here? Now, Rider-Waite-Smith is not a deck that I would normally use a lot of. Now, I have been given some great Rider-Waite-Smith decks. I have ended up getting a couple of different versions, different things. Now, one deck I absolutely adore is Tarot Oracle's Waterfall Tarot. This is my Rider-Waite-Smith go-to deck. I think I like the little twists in the images. When I'm doing something a little deeper, there's a lot more into it. It's great sort of quick reading deck as well, because you sort of Rider-Waite-Smith, you sort of get the messages really fast. But with the little twists in the imageries, it sort of gives you maybe another layer to the reading. I just love the waterfall. The watercolors. I love the colors of the deck. I love the twists in the imagery. Even though it's the basic Rider-Waite-Smith, there's always little twists in the imagery. I also love I love the alternative cards as well that he's got in this deck. Like the Death card here. And I do love the Three of Swords. Of course, that's a little different there. But the Strength card. Absolutely love that. I don't know, I just love the colours, the vibrancy, the energy of the artwork as well. Also the fingers that he, with the fingernails, really, really clear, really cool images. In regards to the aces as well. I absolutely love. There's your Hanged Man. You got your little mice sort of nibbling at the rope there. So lots of little twists. Absolutely love this deck. Absolutely. I don't know why, but it just really sort of draws me in. I love the Seven of Swords in this one as well. I do. It's got little twists all through the imagery. There's just little twists every now and then, and it sort of just makes you sort of take a minute to breathe, and I don't know, I just love it. You just take that moment to sort of look at the imagery, and yeah. So the Waterfall Tarot. Now I know Tarot Oracle's just brought out the Tasty Tarot, which I'm also enjoying. He also has Echoes of Nature Oracle, but I haven't really used the Tasty Tarot a lot. I have used it. I only just got it, so I'm not sure I should include that yet. So absolutely love. Okay. So I do want to include a Tarot de Marseille style deck. Now I love Tarot de Marseille. Like I said, I love pip decks. But one of my favorites is the Spanish Tarot. Absolutely love the colors. I don't know why. I just feel very drawn to using it. I've used it in lots of different ways. There's just so much. Now, what actually drew me to the Spanish Tarot, and I want to include this in the books, is the Predicting Your Future. It's a DK, Julia and Derek Parker type, multi-divination type book. But that's what drew me. This was a second-hand book, and that's what drew me to the Spanish Tarot. And so, yeah, I just love it. Absolutely love it indeed. Spanish Tarot. Any Tarot de Marseille style deck, I'm pretty much, I could, spend a fortune, but I haven't in that case. But absolutely love that. Okay, the last deck I'm going to include here, and this is my number one deck, and this is the Native American Tarot. Now, I've used this for over 23 years in readings, and absolutely love this. This is my second copy of this deck, because my first copy disappeared, of course. But this is a deck that I used in fairs and expos. It was the first deck that actually made sense to me when I was reading tarot. I think a lot of it is because the minor arcana, let me just grab a minor arcana card here. Example, you've got 5 of Vessels and it's got Warrior Woman on it. So it sort of shows you that sort of strength, that sort of, that sense of what it's about. And then you've got 7 of Shields with the Trail of Tears, and so you've got this strong journey about where you want to be and what you want to achieve, and how it's sometimes a struggle to get where you want to be. Here you've got 2 of Vessels with Union, so you have that sense of connection. So yeah, absolutely love this book. Now, I think the little white book that comes with it is fine, but I think this sort of sedges way me into the best sort of tarot books that I really, really love. And I think what's really good is this with the Native American Tarot book. Now, I think the reason why I like this is because it's got a lot of information in it. It's got meditations, visualizations, spreads, correspondences, and it has a lot of information in this book. I think this really is a number one book. It's got a lot of information. It's got a lot of connections to the Rider-Waite-Smith, the Thoth, the Tarot de Marseille is sort of the original. I think it has a lot of information in regards to tarot. So to me, it's a really good read to really get sort of a lot of it. If you want a lot of information in regards to tarot, definitely recommend. Okay. Like I said, you could go through and get a lot of these sort of if you're learning tarot, or you just want to explore something a bit different, there's a lot of these sort of basic books that have really simple, really quick info without being too bogged down by it. So I think these books are really, really good as well. So just really, really quickly. Now, there are some amazing tarot books out there. There's some great tarot guidebooks. So one guidebook that I think is absolutely awesome is the Mary L. Tarot. It's a little bit, I think there's a lot in there. Takes a lot of study, a lot of reading. Absolutely awesome. And then I can really go crazy on this, and I know it just has 4 books, but I've ended up with 5 for some reason. So I think my biggest thing is, there are, like I said, there's some incredible books out there. I think Benabel Wen Holistic Tarot is a great reference book. It's not something that you're going to deep dive and read cover to cover. I think it's a book that you keep coming back to and reading a small amount at a time. Maybe you pull out a card and you read all about that card. Maybe you dive into spreads, or you dive into a little bit more information, and I think this is a great reference book. I'm still discovering stuff about it. I think there's still so much to discover, and I'm going to include one more, and that's the Mythic Tarot. And I think because there's just so much information. Again, any sort of book, any sort of tarot deck that has a guidebook that is chunky, it's got a lot of information in it, I think it's a great reference book for you to go back in and have a look. Okay, spreads. Okay, so how many spreads do we do here? And so I think it was 3 spreads, wasn't it? Yes, 3 spreads. And so I will share some of the spreads here. And I think from my favorite was from the Native, I think basically Native American Tarot. I think there's a few spreads in here that I absolutely love. My main one here, let me just grab it, is the main big spread here. Let me see if I can find it. Is the big medicine wheel. It's 23 cards. That's one of my favorite spreads here. There's quite a lot involved in this spread. It is split into seasons. Let me have a look here. So it's got the heart of it, 1, 2, and 3. Then you have winter, which is 4, 5, or midnight, which is 4, 5, and 6. Then you've got 7 and 8 is the alternatives. Then you've got 9, 10, 11, which is spring and dawn, with 12 and 13 being the alternative. Then you've got summer or noon, which is 16, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 being the alternate. Then you got full or autumn or dusk, 21, 20, and 19. And then you got the alternative 22 and 23. So it goes into, let's see if we can do that. So let's see, the southwest represent winter and midnight, card 5 and 6, in fact specifically the hour around midnight, if you're looking at timing. So you can go into a bit more timing if you wanted to with this deck. There's quite, like I said, there's quite a lot involved in it. And I think it's absolutely brilliant spread, which I think is absolutely, which is this here. So like I said, so you've got that's the heart. There's your winter, spring, summer, and fall. Okay, so yeah, that's one of my favorite spreads. Now, another spread that I really love using is the Kachina knife spread. Okay, the Kachina knife spread is, you got the heart of the situation, 1 and 2, or the health of the situation. You got 3, the past, 4, the present, and 5, the future. That's a really good simple spread that I really love using. Okay, I do want to pull out my third spread, which I think is absolutely awesome. And comes from the Crystal Alley cards. Now, and I can use this for any sort of layout. It's called Gifts and Lessons, which I absolutely love. It's a snapshot layout thing, and you can use it in any way you want. But here you have the gifts and the lesson, right? So this is earth. Then you got the fire, which is gift and lesson. Then you've got water, gift and lesson. Then you've got wind, gift and lesson, and storm, gift and lesson. But you can name those anyway. Here you've got the elements, but you can use like for me, I use like intellect, emotions, physical, and intellect, emotions, physical, spiritual, and then 9 and 10 would be sort of a self-reflection card. So you can change the gifts and lessons spread, which I call the gifts and lessons spread, to whatever you want to name those titles. And I think that's what I love about that flexibility in regards to a reading. So I love this. You know, what gifts are you given from the lessons that you learn? I think it's really cool. So yeah, you can use this in any way you want. It just gives you one sort of layout there. So that is the 3 spreads. I know I'm moving through this quite quickly, So next on the list, of course, is tarot habits and or paraphernalia. Okay, so for me, it's always a tea light, as you can see. Tea light, sage locally grown here by a supplier that I get it directly from, and she wraps them into all sorts of different bits and pieces. And then, of course, there's always crystals on my table as well. That's sort of some of the things that I sort of like to do. For me, it's about just being calm, being relaxed. Yes, I can work quickly. I can work in an environment. I can work in a psychic fair or an expo or a market, even in a market place out in the open. Or I can work in a taxi. I mean, I can read anywhere. I do prefer quiet and calm, and I love my space and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely love working with things. And I don't have to do, and I think for me it's just about doing what I want to do. Okay, the last thing here is the piece of tarot advice or a card you wish to embody and why. For me, I'm going to do a bit of tarot advice. I think it's about finding what works for you. I think we're all different when it works with tarot. I think we're all different when it comes to books. We're different with how we choose to do our tarot, where we choose to work. There's no right and wrong way. There's no right or wrong way to learn tarot. It's about finding out what works for you as an individual. And I think that's the most important thing. That we can all give you lots of suggestions and ideas about what we love and decks we absolutely adore and how we do readings and what the meanings are. But ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to you and how you shuffle the deck, how you lay out the cards, what spread you use, what deck to use, whether you use a cloth or not, whether you use incense or not, or whether you sit calmly and are relaxed, or whether you just pull out a deck and pull 3 cards. You do what is right for you. You do you. That's the biggest advice that I can give to anyone working with tarot. You do what you want to do for you. There is no gatekeepers in tarot. Well, there shouldn't be any gatekeepers in tarot. Because who are we to tell you what's right for you? Okay? Thank you, Natalia, for the tag, and I'm sorry it's taken so long to do so. VR to Kelly Bear 54321, and I hope I've shared enough info for you. Okay, take care. Blessed be.